He did a nice job not getting any more damage into the outside wall.
A little bit of damage there to the rear of that truck.
He was running in the 23rd spot.
Yeah, he does. He's spinning, turn 4. Caution is out. We'll have another attempt at a green light checker. Well, who was the leader right there when that caution came? 2 or the 48?
And as they play cat and mouse, Jamie McMurray comes into the picture, and that 26. Whoa. Denny Hamlin almost slid it to the wall.
Boy,
what a save.
That backed a bunch of them up.
That was a big slide for the number 11.
This is what you call push loose. This thing comes off the corner. He's got a lot of wheel in it, and when those front tires dig, that's when you go push, 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 loose. When you can see the right door number.
Oh, he had his hands full coming down. You see him. We saw him wiggling that steering wheel back and forth and go way up across the racetrack. And just clipped the wall a little bit with the right rear.
Great job, Doug.
195 on your first lap. Good save there.
That is a good save because he could have really torn this car up. Now, he did make a little contact, but what he did after that was pretty stellar.
Yeah. And I'll go back to something I said a minute ago and that Jeff Burton followed up on about these cars. Every car is always a challenge and a fine balance, whether it's of getting the speed out of it and how it's going to drive. As a driver, as you can see, this car is not very comfortable right here. Reed's trying to get the most out of it, but it just gets away from him. You always said, Andy, too, if you're up close to that wall, you won't hit it as hard, right?
That's right. He just barely gets a piece of it and does a really good job to save it from there.
Yeah, and so I wasn't saying that the car was bad or anything. It's just it's a different challenge for these guys to find what is that balance between going fast and the comfort level that you can get in the car. And a lot of these guys have found, we see Jimmy Johnson drive his car literally sideways at a lot of places, and so it makes it difficult. But finding that edge and what's going to make your car go better is what you have to look for.
This is what happens when you go over the edge.
How appropriate it was always Richard Petty, who drove the 43, said the closer to the wall you are, the easier you tap it.
Hammering. And they deserve so much better than what they've got right now. You know what I mean? But Andy has done a great job adapting to all these racetracks. A lot of these places, remember, he was going to for the very first time.
Whoa, hang on to it, Andy. We saw this earlier, blows the right front, but he keeps it off the wall. Now, the unfortunate thing is 28.215 is his lap of record on his first lap. Will that be good enough to get him into this show?
Well, I think we'll have to see 1 or 2 more go homers run to know, but Kyle had already pointed out this race car was so loose, and he's trying to pick up a little bit from that first lap.
And knowing he's got to pick up from that first lap, and this racetrack must just be incredibly slick. You guys just did some of the practice or some of the nationwide qualifying, and when you look at this, this is a totally different racetrack than what these guys experienced yesterday. I'm going to tell you what, when things like this happen, and you can believe this or not, and this is what happened yesterday to Andy while he was out there in the practice. He gets up, he's right on the edge there, and gets into the outside wall. He just barely got outside the groove coming out of turn 4. You see the black part of the racetrack. But I'm telling you something. We're 3 cars into this qualifying session. If we go to the other end of the list and look at Matt.
PK Jr.
Up the racetrack, contact made, 1 and 2. Nelson Piquet goes sideways. Nelson Piquet Jr. got up the racetrack, hit the 18. That brings the caution out again.
He just sucked the back end out from him, that's all.
Whew. And not a lot of damage to the right side of that truck where he hit the 18.
Nice job by Nelson Piquet Jr. to save that. And again, Roger Curtis for having a bunch of pavement down there at the inside of the racetrack at the exit of turn 2. Take another look at it. Now watch, he's going to have to chase that truck up the hill as he gets sideways.
Look at Jason White, had the same thing happen. You see trucks going by him. Nelson didn't let off. When he made contact with Kurt, the thing went around, but man, he never quit driving it, did he?
Sure did. That's heads-up driving by Nelson Piquet. Watch this now. You see Jason White, it happens to him first, and then it happens to Piquet.
Piquet has run down there all day long, and we talked about synchronized driving and how difficult it is to run side by side here. That's an example of it.
Yeah. And that's the exit of the corner, probably, I don't know, maybe 10 miles an hour slower than if they were up to full speed. It takes these trucks a while to get wound up.
What about the job he does just keeping it going in the right direction once he spins out? I guess officially he didn't never really spin out.
There's so much room down there now.
The wall. All right. Bliss hangs on. Now, this car will race on Sunday. It was not.
Don't drive it back too far there. Don't kill the nose. Be careful there.
It was not locked into the Daytona 500 with Terry Labonte aboard, but now they have a golden ticket for these next 4 races. Here's what happened to Mike Bliss.
Just getting up off the corner there, and man, do you see that thing? It just snapped out. And right here as a driver, you're trying to decide when to release that brake.
And you could hear and see the right front tire. And one reason Frank Stoddard, his owner, told him be careful driving it back.
Looked like you could tell he really powered up, and this wall coming out of 4 really comes at you in a hurry. Sometimes you have to snatch it away a little bit, and the back end will jump around.
Well, we mentioned Greg Biffle's situation from last practice. Here we go. Deja vu.
Yeah, it was amazing. Neither one of them hit anything there. You got to be pretty good not to get into the wall at that point in time.
Tore up the grass a little bit, no harm.
He's around.
Yeah,
Watch him.
Boy, he's trying to drive.
Bliss haven't hit anything yet.
Well, that's 3.
Wow. And 3 great drivers.
Didn't touch anything.
If you look at Greg Biffle, Mark Martin, now Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, we're done there.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Chad.
Chad says that's enough for the day.
She's a little loose.
Yeah, it seemed a little loose. It's easy to be humorous when you haven't wrecked the car.
Yeah, right, that's the thing. And
he did a great job here. You can see he gets up a little too high, up into that gray, which doesn't have any room. You can see it get away from him. This would have been easy right there to just stood on the brakes and probably backed it into the wall. But Jimmy did a great job of staying in the throttle, getting himself down here where kind of out of harm's way.
Trouble already, Newman.
Spin behind you.
Ryan Newman is going to stay off the wall after spinning off turn number 2 to bring out the first caution flag of the day. There was contact.
What happens here, Mike, is there's a transition over there out of the banking onto the straightaway. Right here, when Ryan Newman moves out, that car's a little free. Tony Stewart was right against him, and he just spun the thing out. As he steps out right here, he's also going to step around right there. He's up high. No, he just loses it this time.
Yeah, that was just loose getting into the corner.
And that's how, we talked about, we haven't seen many guys running high. The track is still very dirty up high. I see a lot of dust. There he goes, just around he goes.
So 5 minutes into this practice, Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings out the caution.
See what this looks like. This ought to be
29.74. That's your quickest lap so far.
And he will back that up with that's your slowest lap so far.
He was just about to go back to the gas when it broke loose.
Yeah.
Looks just about like Ryan Newman when he got in there a little hot, got loose. Boy, he looks like he may have barely touched that wall.
Yeah, these guys look like they're trying to carry a little too much speed into the corner. Normally when you run that high groove, you back out a little sooner, then you pick up the throttle and drive it around. Watch these guys do a great job. Jamie McMurray's not sure where to go right here. He can't go low because Biffle's there.
And he just misses him.
How about Brian Vickers, Steve?
Mike, caution flag flew.
Whoa, trouble!
Vickers.
Sorry, Steve, but Greg Biffle just got the boot from his Roush Fenway teammate David Reagan. I don't know how he saved that car.
I don't either. I think Reagan's got some damage on the left front now. I thought I saw a tire smoking. Biffle on the bottom and Reagan on the top. Biffle just kind of slides right up in front of Reagan there, and they make contact. And how they kept from wrecking, I don't know.
And then Reagan's right side got up into the wall.
He's got some damage, had some tire smoke. Bam. He hit a that's pretty hard lick. Exactly.
It was a real hard lick.
Whole right side of the 6 car is it's torn up. Holy cow.
Humdinger.
My gosh. I thought we were fixing to see a big crash.
That was a fright for A.J. Allmendinger, who was the second fastest Dodge.
The corner, he's in the throttle. Watch this thing just jump out from under. Oh, he gets down on the flat. He got way down on the apron just a little bit too much. You got to clip that, but you can't get down that low. And that's what set him around like that.
minutes. He's in the show.
You're right now, the go homers they're outside looking in, not locked out yet, but we. Whoa, no!
Hold on.
I was holding my breath. I don't know if you could hear it at home, but then when you spin at Dover and don't do anything, it's a miracle.
Like Darrell Wallace did yesterday.
Yes, he did. Darrell Wallace.
Well, we know he ruined a set of tires, but I don't even see a mark on the wall. He might not have hurt it.
Phenomenal job of parallel parking right there.
There you go.
I don't see a mark on that car.
I don't either.
Not a mark.
That is amazing. You see it wiggle, he chases it up the racetrack. And we've seen cars do that all day yesterday, and we've seen it in qualifying. They just got to have that little wiggle when you put a little more wheel in it.
And just kissed it. Blaney's lap 23.222. That lap was quicker than Nemechek, so he's in. Well, there's a saying, everything's bigger in Texas, Darrell, and here when you spin, you slide, and it's a long ride. Let's see what happened to Jimmy Johnson.
And then, you know, I've seen Jimmy spin out on the last lap of a number of races and not hit anything. Now, this guy's got spinning out. If Dale Jr. spun out last week on purpose, I don't think Jimmy was practicing for anything other than trying to get his car up to speed. But look at that. A beautiful slide, a beautiful save.
Here's another look.
Just think about all the times we've seen him do that, Mike, over the last year or so. I am very impressed. I'm not happy he spun out, but I'm very impressed that he didn't hit anything.
There's the pole sitter. If he wrecks that car, he's got to go to the back.
We spun, guys.
Hang on.
That car had been falling off the pace. I believe the car had gotten tightened up on him. He just couldn't get off the corner like he had.
To the back of the field for the Daytona 500 Sunday.
It's got David Reagan in the 6 car tucked right up under. But I believe this car just, it's just. See, it takes a little. You saw him have to run up the hill, had to get out of the throttle, and the 6 car got into him, David Reagan.
Look how close that 6 car came to him.
From the DirecTV blimp.
There you can see the car wobble. He gets down in the bumps, down low, and turns off of turn 2 here. You'll see the 1 car start to wobble. See that? It lost the tail. The 6 looks under him, gets into him.
Darrell, did that have a look of a tire going down?
It wiggled like it may have, but he's been falling off the pace the last several laps. I think could very well be a tire problem. See, it really walks up the track right there, like it could have a low right front. That's no fault of the 6 car, David Reagan. The 1 car when Truex had to get out of the gas.
All right, Larry, 11 laps to go.
Well,
what will you do?
It's a combination. We've got 11.
Boston Reed. Caution's out.
Inner pointer back in the right direction. Caution is out.
Looks like he poked somebody with that right front.
He was racing Tim Fedowa in the 12, and it might have been contact with Fedowa.
I got to believe by the way that right front fender's kind of all jacked up there that he got into somebody.
Boy, if he did have contact,
maybe he did that when he come off that little bit of banking back there, Larry. She gets real loose with him right there, and he has to catch it. He did a great job of saving the car, but either there was something going on with the tires or the car just got violently loose.
Gets a little bit of contact, and that thing is headed straight for the wall.
Yes, what makes it so difficult, we talked about racing side by side on the exit of these corners. You can see just get a little bit loose. You try to turn away from there. Wow, great save. You don't get to save them many times here.
Falling into a battle here with Brad Keselowski. This time he's up on top of Keselowski.
Keselowski tries to save it. He keeps it going the right direction.
No caution.
And we stay green.
What a nice save by Brad Keselowski. There aren't that many people that would have saved that truck without hitting the inside wall. Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil, and I think it burnt right through the rubber.
This guy's got it like we've been talking about all day. Now's the time where you make hay. On these restarts, we got somebody else
Keselowski loose, and he saved it. So did Tony Stewart. Unbelievable save by the men who have won the last 2.
Here's a look at the 5-hour energy move of tonight's race, and Kyle Busch around. And he saves it, as he did in 2012 when he went on to win. He spins it and saves it. Caution is out.
Watch this move. Just had him run, decided to try to take advantage of it. Wasn't room.
Michael, we know these cars have the big side headrests. The drivers have mirrors, but they have limited view to the blind spots right and left off those rear quarters.
3 feet to the 9, over in front of Joey now.
You could see there was no spotter involved in that. Kyle Busch had a run. He thought he could turn to the left and make it. We do that a lot out there. You can't wait around when you have a run for your spotter to say clear, because it won't work if you do that. He just felt like he had room. The seat of his pants told him he could make that move, and he needed a foot.
And this happened so fast. Did Keselowski even have a chance to turn down to get away from it?
No, Brad was as surprised as Kyle was. Kyle was surprised Brad was there, and Brad was surprised Kyle came over.
What a save by Matt Kenseth. In tricky turn 4 in Las Vegas. Caution flag is out, but he's still got a race car in one piece.
See, Matt was trying to defend that bottom lane, the 22 car, getting in the corner. It gave him a little bit of a bad angle. He started fighting it from there. Look at that.
Yeah, he tried for a few laps to make that work, and as a driver, what you do then, Chase Elliott, that's a great job he did to miss Matt Kenseth at speed right there. Watch how close this becomes here. Wow. Nice job. This will be a view from Chase Elliott's car.
See that 20, watch him. Clear, good job, caution.
See just how close he comes to the back of this 22 car as he comes by.
Clear high.
Kyle Busch got around a pile of cars in that, by the way. Watch the black car, gold bumper there, right side of the screen. Oh, a little tap from both of these drivers, Dylan Kwasniewski and Brendan Gaughan. What a terrific job here.
Both of them, really. I mean, look at Dylan. He's way out there, just like Brendan is. They both saved him. How'd they do that? Yeah. I bet Trevor Bain got a good look at this. Oh, better than he wanted.
And I don't believe Kyle Busch ever lifts through this.
Still 3 wide top. Stay up. Keep coming up.
Just for a second.
All clear. Still green. They saved it.
Trouble off turn 2 here, or 4, I'm sorry.
Kurt Busch.
Car number 2, turn 4.
And the caution will wave.
Hold your brake. Caution's out. All right, guys, get ready here.
Kurt Busch, the runner-up in last year's 500, goes for a slide.
Snapped around on me.
I don't believe anybody. I don't think he got hit.
There you see Kurt
There he is
Busch.
right there.
This is down in turn 4. We've seen this all week long. You can see right there, Robbie Gordon in the 7 car tucked right up behind him. Don't know if Robbie got into him or not. Kurt said the car just came around with him.
But he probably thought that if the 7 car bumped into him.
But what I saw there was Kurt Busch getting very close to Paul Menard. Busch may have breathed his car, got a little off the throttle, and gotten hit by Gordon as a consequence.
Wow, big scramble.
Johnson's in the middle of that.
In and out. Hold your line.
Kind of damage might he have gotten in that? Could be a flat tire. Little smoke showing there.
You can see as we'll pan back to the front.
Oh, he got into him. Logano around. Can he save it? He is unable to. Caution. And the caution came out right as Denny Hamlin was crossing the start-finish line to get the white flag.
That could have been avoided. That could have been avoided. I agree that there's history there, but even if there's history there,
that was uncalled for. This will give us a very good angle. Let's take a look here. That still could have been avoided.
Yeah, that's a tough call from that angle. Yeah, that is truly 2 guys going for the same place in the same place as the patch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just got into each other.
Harvick. Oh, not where Jimmy wants to be.
Uh-oh.
Contact. Edwards and
Hang on,
Johnson.
baby. Hang on. Inside. Keep rolling inside.
Run off turn 4. And I think that he thought maybe Carl might get out of it as they got down in here 3 wide. I'm sure Jimmy didn't know Harvick was going to the inside. Carl doing everything he can to stay off of Jimmy, and then Jimmy doing all he can do to save his.
That for the second time in this race, he avoided disaster.
Hang on to that, baby. Hang on. Inside. Keep rolling inside.
As a driver, you just try to keep yourself out of these positions, but there's nothing you can do when you get hit in the left rear. But drive your tail off and hang on. Fantastic driving by those drivers.
Pit road open here, Doc.
See Brad Sweet up. He's completely out of the groove sideways. Getting in the corner possibly. I don't know. It sounded like he had something going on.
Yeah.
Ooh,
look at that. Brake problem. That's narrow miss there.
Nice job, Mike Bliss.
Yeah. What could have created that? You can see. That was a great move there to dodge that. A lot of times it got some shade down there now. It's kind of hard to see those cars when that happens. You go from the sun into that.
Racing for third inside Kurt Busch. Oh my gosh.
He might be waiting to see if he can help his teammate in that 88 car.
Oh boy.
Ryan Newman.
Threading the needle there.
Oh, man.
I don't know how they made it, but they did.